This is Evan Dukas. Today I'm going to do a little graft and show you how to graft, and this is called a whip and tongue graft. And the reason why I do this is so we can have multiple fruits on one type of tree, which is really cool. This is a Stanley plum, it's good. It's a nice little yellow flesh plum, but I'd like to add a little bit of a different variety called Mount Royal, which is similar. In nature, it's got that yellow flesh, except it's just supposed to be a higher quality fruit. So I'm going to graft a bunch of these to my Stanley plum. Got some of these in the mail. These are called scion wood, and they're just dormant. And usually you really want to do it in the spring when like the sap is really flowing. This is April here in Colorado, and this is just perfect timing. So I'm going to quickly show how you do this. So here's the scion wood. I'm going to find a similar branch, or a branch of similar diameter, which is this one right here. I already picked it out. It's a great position here on the south side. As you can see, this is real similar here. So I'm just going to, I'm going to cut it right here to start, okay? And this is pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna get my grafting knife. This is a pretty cheap one. I'm going to try to make a really nice cut on an angle. One more. Okay, that should do it. I'm going to try to do the same exact thing on my cutting. Without cutting my finger off. There it is. See how that matches up? That's perfect. I'm not sure right there. See how that matches up right there? It's pretty good. So before we put them together to bond, I'm going to make another little cut. A little slit here. You could look this up in different places online, but making this cut straight in, because they're going to kind of intermingle and kind of hook on. Right here, there's like a little Z, there's the groove. Okay. Try to do the same thing on this one, real careful. As you can see, I'm kind of rotating, I'm kind of moving it back and forth so that it gets a careful cut, because if you put a lot of pressure, it might just go boom, and then you split the whole piece of wood. Okay, so I have a similar cut on that, and then we're going to put them together. Right there, but I see I'm going to have to make this one just a little bit deeper. Not too much deeper, but a little bit deeper, so it really gets in there. And this just gives a little bit more integrity to both pieces when they come together. See how that does here. The most important thing is that the cambium layer, the outer layer, that's where all the life is of the tree. As long as the cambium layers are touching, we should have a pretty good and successful graft here. Okay, I'm going to put my knife down. Yeah, there we go. Just push it in there a little further. Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm going to grab some simple black electrical tape, the nice cheap stuff. I think it's from like Harbor Freight or something. I'm going to carefully wrap it, and you want to wrap it real tight. So that very minimal air gets in. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna cut this here so that I can really get it tight over there. Okay. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that cut. I think this is gonna be a successful graft. As I'm wrapping the tape around, just making sure that those two spots, the two cambium layers of the cyanwood and the cambium layer of the host branch, are matching up pretty well. Not too shabby. Seal the end really well. So that's really tight, airtight. Again, you don't want the air to really get to it. You want it to be nice and tight. Okay, that should do it. I'm gonna cut it. Finish that. I might just play around with it with my hand for a second just to make sure. Just kind of do this so that it all lines up. That should be good. Okay, then, especially since we're in Colorado, I don't want it to get dried out. See, this wood, there's nothing to support the moisture right now. When these bond, then it'll be able to just put life into it. But right now, it's gonna be, it's in danger of getting all dried out. So I'm gonna wrap it. Most people who graft, they use like a nice parafilm stuff, but I'm pretty ghetto with my grafting. I like to use a nice little produce vegetable bag type thing. And because I've used the parafilm and stuff, but there's some varieties of fruits that seem to have a hard time poking through the parafilm, and I just don't want to mess with that. I want the buds to be able to poke right through nicely. Okay, I'll mess with that later. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna use this clear stuff so the sun could still get to it. Although I won't want too much sun, but I'll get to that in a second. Okay, I'm gonna keep it kind of airtight, and I might even put like a few drops of clean water in this, just to make sure it stays nice and moist. Okay, so I have the Mount Royal cyanwood all wrapped nicely with that plastic bag. I cut away the excess and put a couple drops of water like in there, just a few little just a little spritz, just to make sure that it stays nice and moist in there. Not too moist, you don't want it wet. And I will be monitoring it for mold, but this will also let me monitor the moisture. So if I go to look and there's absolutely no droplets in there, then I know that my cyanwood is in danger of drying out. So the last thing I'm going to do, since I'm in Colorado and the sun is really hot, I'm also going to put another extra measure of protection in the form of this bag. And this paper bag has, I put little holes in each corner to let some light through. So hopefully it gets nice bright light. This is on the south side too. But a lot of indirect light. This paper bag will light up nice, but it'll just keep it from the hot sun from getting that plastic and just like pretty much burning my cyanwood. And I'm just gonna fasten that this way with a rubber band around it, nice and loose. And that's it. So I'm gonna let that stay like that for some weeks and keep checking it. And as soon as those really start to, to pop some green buds, I'll probably wait even just a little longer. And then when it's really like beginning to leaf out, I'm going to take everything off and we should be good to go. So this is how you do a whip and tongue graft. And once again, this is Mount Royal on a Stanley plum. So I can get just a few different varieties. And the really neat thing is they will cross-pollinate now. Like all I need is one tree. They are self-fertile varieties, both of them, but now they will benefit and be even more productive eventually when these grafts here are blooming. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Until next time, thanks.